In the beginning of the series, we see a young girl wandering alone in the ruined city with some posters in her hand. With this poster, she is trying to find her mother, whom she has not seen since May 2nd, 2025. After that, she enters a ruined building and goes inside an apartment where she is staying alone. The girl then sees that a man, who is also staying alone in the opposite building, jumps from his apartment and commits suicide. Then, in the next section, we see that a girl is telling us that some asteroid is coming to hit the Earth, which a few people believe and a few ignore as a rumor. But everybody tries to survive what's coming. This is the story of the last days of the people in her town, Wung Cheon. In the next scene, we see a girl riding a bicycle to go somewhere, and we can also see that 201 days have left for the asteroid collision. Now the scene moves into the past, where we can see that there is some sort of chaos in the airport where all the general population is trying to go to some different destinations, where we can hear about some fake news being circulating. In this scene, we are shown that people are trying to escape the city to move to some safer place, leaving their loved ones and friends behind. We are shown that Ha-Yul and her friends are saying goodbye to each other as Ha-Yul is leaving the city with her parents. Here, one of Ha-Yul's friends tells her to beware of her parents. Then suddenly, Ha-Yul's parents ask her to come, as it's getting late. Before leaving, Ha-Yul secretly gives a letter to Ms. Jin and asks her to read it when she is alone. In the next scene, we are shown that an announcement is being made that the asteroid Dina is going to collide with Earth in 300 days, and the impact location will be the Korean Peninsula. The government is going to set up a migration plan to protect the lives of citizens, and the government is also going to apply martial law nationwide to maintain law and order in the country, which is going to apply from midnight on April 29, 2025. Meanwhile, we see that riots are breaking out in different parts of the country, and people are abandoning the country amid the crisis. Ms. Jin's fiancé, Ha Yun-sang, who works in some government facilities, was also kidnapped at the gunpoint while Jin and Yun-sang were having a video call. In the next scene, we also see that government officials are taking away Father Baek, who is a priest in one of the churches. We then see some of the rioters kidnapping young students for human trafficking. Ha-Yul was also taken away in front of Ms. Jin, who was left injured by one of the kidnappers. But Ms. Jin stood up and tried to save Ha-Yul by blocking the way of the kidnappers who were trying to escape in a truck. After some time, the rebel forces surrendered to the government, and all the hostages were freed. But many of them lost their lives. Luckily, Ha-Yul survived, and Ms. Jin found her. Now the story shifts to the present. Ms. Jin reads the letter Ha-Yul gave her. Now, as Ha-Yul and her parents left the city, the embassy's officer stopped Ha-Yul's father, Jong Soo-gun, because he hadn't been approved to leave. As a result, the family had to wait at the airport to find out what was happening. Meanwhile, in the city, all the malls and shopping stores were out of food, as there were no supplies coming in, and people were living with the bare minimum of food left. In the next scene, we see that Ha-Yul is back with her parents at her home. Ha-Yul's friends also reached her home to find out why she was not able to leave the city, where they saw that Ha-Yul and her mother were fighting with each other and that Ha-Yul was leaving her house to stay with her friends. In the following scene, Ms. Jin presents the letter to the military officer, who happens to be her friend. It's the same letter that Ha-Yul gave her. In the letter, Ha-Yul informs Jin that the individuals who abducted her and were responsible for the deaths of innocent students have relocated near her home. She also mentions recognizing one of the main perpetrators, which is why she no longer feels safe living with her parents. Ms. Jin urges the military officer to take action and apprehend the kidnappers. However, the officer regretfully informs her that their unit lacks the necessary equipment and ammunition to confront such hardened criminals. Hearing this, Jin gets irritated and decides to take action herself. When she enters the house of the kidnappers, she tries to kill him but finds that he has already been murdered by someone else. She immediately leaves the house in panic and returns to her home. In the next scene, we see that Father Bayek, whom military officials have taken into custody, has passed away, the reason for which is not told to us in this episode. So this was episode 1 of Goodbye Earth. Friends, if you like this video, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments down below with your suggestions. Stay tuned for next episode of Goodbye Earth.